I'm going to just review this intraday price reversal trading strategy here for you. Even though the trade was a fairly small trade, the disciplines I think are perfectly in order here. So I'll review them for you really quick. So this is from the oil trading chat room on Discord for the members. So long 3, so that's 3/30ths because Epic trades up to 30 contracts at a time. So it's a small trade. Long 3, 35.66 with huge caution. And I was on mic explaining it, and I'll include a link to that live trading room video also in the description of this video. But there was big caution because of order flow. When I was explaining the order flow, Epic needs 3 progressive bars of volume on the 15-second and identified machine volume. Those are 2 different things, but a trader at home can follow the volume. So I'll explain this in a second. So long 3, 35.66 with huge caution. So the caution was for a number of reasons. And then Epic sold one at 35.79, hold 2, 35.91, hold 1, 36.06, hold 0. So not a big trade, right? So you're, what is that, 50 ticks? Or is that 40? 40 ticks to the last sell, but fast. But that's not the real important part. The real important part is the actual trigger, because if you get into a better structured environment than we have right now, we've got this, where it's coming in for a landing. So if you got a much wider range to work with, the sizing would get bigger from Epic. That's alerted, much bigger. Depending on the range it's got to work with, it knows that the price target from March is here. It's coming in on this trajectory from last March. I think it was March 10th on that hourly model, on the algorithmic model. Okay, so that's what happened. That setup was a double bottom with lots of structured support on mid intraday time cycle with just enough order flow. And it should say volume, progressive volume to fire. So oil trading strategy, set up double bottom, price intraday on 1-minute chart, support shown on a 15-second time frame. So here's the chart, here's the double bottom. I had it on a 15-second time frame there to show, if you look close at the volume, you'll see progressive volume on the 15-second. Epic needs at least 3 bars of progressive volume. What Epic also needs on its ident, on its proprietary ident system, is progressive buying identified by machine programs. And it had that too. So it had both. And that's what I was explaining live in the room. So the one trigger was, and this is 1-minute support, right? Where the red and blues are, red and blue. This is resistance, this is support on the machine model. That's on the day trading 1-minute model that we provide our members. So these are the algorithmic models that the bundle members get, right? So double bottom, volume, progressive volume, at least 3 bars, progressive order flow on the machine liquidity side, on the ident system, 1-minute support, and off it goes. So that's the one. The other one is so the other part of the oil trading strategy set up on the hourly symmetrical chart. So this is actually a symmetrical telemetry chart. It's a complicated algorithmic model to develop, but it's something that we use to give us our price targets way out. And this happened to be back from March 10th. And the price target comes in Monday morning at 7 o'clock. So Epic's got this range to work with. It knows this is its telemetry resistance and this is its support intraday for that target. So price support at trajectory line to oil price target. So this is the trajectory line. This is telemetry line. This is trajectory line. So it had support. Bottom line is it had a support. On the models, all the lines are support and resistance. It's just different support and resistance lines take more precedent or have more authority. And we explain that in our documentation. Sorry, I've got quite a cold. Not really a cold, more of a burnout. And so I get a little tired once in a while. But anyway, so that's the 1 minute, that's the 1 hour. So it had support on both. It had the double bottom. It had the order flow volume. What's most important, in my opinion, is this 5 minute. This 5 minute for day traders, oil day traders, is super critical. So the 5 minute, the vertical lines are time cycles. We were exactly mid time cycle. So that's where you'll typically get inflections. You see the one here? And then the bulls ran it all the way up to this time cycle. It failed a little early. And it's not in the image here, but to that time cycle. Anyway, it was failing. It's mid time cycle, and you can get inflections at mid time cycle. So this is a perfect hit at 11 o'clock a.m. And then it came back after hitting VWAP, and Epic fired here on the second, not on the first. On the first, and you'll see on the video if you watch the oil trading room live video, Epic didn't have the order flow on the first, but had the order flow on the second. Well, and this is probably even more important. So this is the tried, true, tested Epic 30-minute model that started it all. And it had key support. So this is a trading box on all the models where you see the blues and the reds, blue and red, that's the trading box. This is the mid quad, the heavy grays, and this is the quad itself. So price was collapsing, tapped it perfect, didn't quite get to the middle of it. I was looking for the middle, so it caught me off guard. So Epic fired before I did. These are 30-minute candles. I was going to fire at the middle. Epic fired because of the reasons I've listed. And then, of course, your mid-quad resistance, at that point, you should be well trimmed out. I mean, you might get back to the top of the quad, but anyway. And you can see, actually, you can't see, I'll get you a better image, but it stepped up. And that's another important thing. And then I had this doodle earlier that I accidentally put on the public-facing Epic Twitter feed. Anyway, in my opinion, it's a fail because it didn't have clear support identified. So that had nothing to do with it. I'll doodle through the days, to see what I can find. The resistance is definitely working, but that support wasn't identified. So let me show you the charts real quick, the live charts. So here's the 30-minute Epic model. So yesterday, it just about tapped this key support, and I had listed that out in guidance and alerts. So it bounces off of the key mid quad here. The next bounce is just about to the next big support. So you can see how it got closer on the second one. Bounces up. Just think of like a bouncing ball on each. And then this one was a perfect tap. So you can see how it stepped up, right? Where these white arrows are. Now there should be a white arrow here because that's key support. And that's what it was doing. So it bounced at this one, came down to this one, bounced at this one, and there should be a white arrow there. It's not as key as, this one down here, but anyway, they're key. All these big horizontals. And then, of course, this is its resistance. Now, intraday, it's trading here. Now you can see the top of the candle, but you can see how it's stepping down here. Like this is a mid-quad line, and it's a trend line. But anyway, you can see the body of the candle. But these horizontals are your big ones. Okay, and you can see how here, when it was dive bombing before, perfect hit here, and then it slowly collapsed, boom, into the next one, gets its bounce, the bounce of the ball, hits this one, gets the bounce of the ball, or actually hit the one below, it just didn't quite get there. Or you can consider that a double bottom, but that's, generally in the 30-minute structure, what it looks like. And that's why we bring it down to tighter time frames. This is the 1 minute. Now, this 1 minute, all you do is you go here and then just select your 15-second, and then you would see the progressive volume that came in. Now you can see the volume here, but you won't see the 3 bars that Epic looks for on the 15-second. Progressive, right? More volume per bar for 3 bars minimum. And then now, so the bulls, this is the 5-minute day trading structure, and bulls brought it up to almost at a time cycle. It's failing early, which makes sense. An early fail here makes sense because it's Friday, and here's VWAP, and it should settle into VWAP area-ish for settlement at 2:30. We're just under 2 hours away. Or if the bulls aren't confident about holding into the weekend, you should see a dump. Unless there's a weird news event, I don't think you'll see a rally. But I guess who knows? This is your main structure, though, obviously. And that's your target Monday morning. That's my doodle. This is another hourly. I'll bring it out for you. It's a good model, for key support and resistance, but it didn't hit perfect here. It already has. And so anyway, that's why I didn't give you that as evidence for your trade, right? Because you want to take your trade based on, you want to argue your trade like a lawyer, right? You want to go and say, okay, look, I've got this support, clear support on the 30-minute model. I got clear support on my 1-minute model. I got 15-second progressive order flow. I got a double bottom, which is even better. For the W pattern, I got a double bottom here on my 5-minute. I'm perfectly in a time cycle at 11 o'clock, mid-time cycle. I mean, everything was lining up, and of course, this big structure lined up too. So that's where you take it, and where you trim out is where you trim out at each resistance according to your size, right? Okay, so I think that about explains it. And thanks for your support, guys and gals. Maven, you got a big one there. That's good. You sized in. Peace and best all.